Welcome back, NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today in this new episode of Music with Nick. I hope that is correct. I always say to this new episode. In this new episode with me, thank you so much, JK. I wanted to thank you right off the bat here for sponsoring this marathon. It's a grunge marathon. I guess you already know by now that I'm not a huge grunge guy. I mean, I do. Of course, I'm aware of all these huge bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains, actually, I just got into them around 2016 with my neighbor in Florida. He was a huge grunge guy, grew up around that area, around that time, and he was just all about, Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots and stuff. I'm more like, I knew Nirvana. I was listening to Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, and then started my Metallica and Megadeth and Pantera, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden thing. And while I guess I never really got into grunge, I don't know why. There's just a few bands I never got into, and like even like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who are huge, I don't know, like even Radiohead, like we just did this full reaction to Radiohead, and it's just, a band that I never got into 90s music. I don't know why. But I know it's great. And I was just like at the same time that I was actually getting interested into listening to music, I was also getting into playing. So I was just more interested in like doing like, scales and figuring out music and studying, theory and scales, and grunge didn't have all that, I guess. So I was never really like interested. I don't know. It's just weird. But I wanted to thank JK again for sponsoring this. And this is going to be a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of grunge guys out there who are gonna love this, because we usually make videos more for, people who like 60s and 70s and 80s music. So maybe even the demographics going to change it a little bit. Who knows, So we got Stone Temple Pilots with Plush from their album Core. This is from 92. Veruca Salt with American Thighs. The song Seether. I think it's Seether because it's a double E. This is from 94. Then we got Alice in Chains Wood from the album Dirt, 92. And then we got Pearl Jam with Yield, Do the Evolution from 98. And then we got Nirvana, About a Girl, MTV Unplugged. Now, I do remember owning this record. I guess everyone has owned this record at least once, even if you were born in the 50s or 60s or before or after. This is just one of those records that you just have, the MTV Unplugged. So I know this song very well, but we're going to do the video today. That's the last one. Now, Stone Temple Pilots, I know of them, of course. I think one of the songs that I'm let me see on the list that I'm most familiar about, Interstate Love Song. I mean, it's just a song that everybody kind of knows. And Pearl Jam, the classics, Jeremy and Alive and, stuff like that, of course. Now, Alice in Chains, I know a couple of songs because, like I said, I used to play, campfire style, with this friend in Florida. Very cool dude. Veruca Salt, I've never heard of him. So without further ado, let's dive into the music and let's see if I've heard anything of these songs before. I obviously will let you guys know, but let's get started and give me one more. All right, so let's go. Let's get started with Plush, Stone Temple Pilots. Here we go. Yes, of course. I've heard this. It gave it away that, and I'm feeling. So it's very good. It's very epic. It's so Pearl Jam. It's like, I don't know. I think he toned it down with the next record. I mean, I'm talking about the record with the Interstate Love Song. He doesn't use that voice anymore. That, that Eddie Vedder voice. But yeah, of course, I've heard this before. This is a great song. Man, I didn't recognize the beginning, but it's good.
Where you going for tomorrow? Where you going with a master found? And I feel when the dogs begin to smell her. Well, she smell alone.
Actually has very interesting chords. I'm gonna look them up. They just sound like a little bit out of the ordinary. Let's look them up.
And I feel so much depends on the weather. So is it raining in your bedroom? And I see that these are the eyes of disarray. Would you even care? And I feel it, and she feels it. Where you going tomorrow? Where you going with a mask found? And I feel when the dogs begin to smell her.
Yeah, there's some E flat minor seventh. There's some F minor seventh chords. It just sounds like, it just doesn't sound so normal. I like that there's some they're not weird chords, but they're just not like the typical major chords, and you just hear it. You hear it out. Also, the added two, and yeah, you can just hear it then. But then I guess the chorus is pretty straightforward, just power chords, fifth chords. Yeah, really cool though. Really interesting. Sometimes I guess I like the distortion and just the timing of the riff, It's very interesting.
Well, she stand alone. Well, the dogs can find her. Got time, waiting for tomorrow. But you find it. Well, the dogs can find her. Got time, waiting for tomorrow. But you find it.
I like that the intro is even being harmonized. There's two guitars playing two different things in the opening. So that's kind of like, I guess that's where I got the whole like attention. I was like, what are those chords? Really cool. I like it. And just the drumming, and I love that Bonham, bum da 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 da, and I don't know, it sounds just like it sounds really good. It's heavy, but it's not too heavy. It's so 90s. It's Pearl Jam meets, I don't know, maybe a little bit of Zeppelin, like some Jimmy Page inspiration on the playing, I think.
Where you going with a mask
Very cool. And I love that, the distortion in the 90s was so heavy. I remember my first pedal was a Ibanez, I don't know what it was, like death metal distortion. And it was my first distortion. It was so distorted. Um, it was great for playing Metallica, but then when I wanted to play, Iron Maiden, it sounded like just like like that kind of deal. When you play a fifth chord, just like I think in the '90s the distortion got very very heavy. But even with Pantera, if you listen to Cowboys from Hell, it's very I don't know. I just like now. Being older and stuff, I just find myself like toning down the distortion a little bit more. I don't like to, when I play, to cover up anything. I don't know. I think it's a great tool to play without any distortion, because you hear every mistake you do. I don't know. That's just a personal, like a personal favorite thing to do for me. But then again, with the heavy distortion, if you mess up, it sounds even worse. I don't know. It depends on what you play. If you play, solos or just chords, I think chords are pretty much safe with distortion. But also another thing I wanted to mention, the bass on this track was super interesting. I did see a part of a interview with Rick Beato when he was interviewing the bass player, and he has a background in jazz, and you can really hear that. I mean, he's not playing any chromatic like stuff or anything, or maybe he does, but he does have this jazzy kind of like vibe going on. Maybe it's because I know that they were talking about that, but I didn't see the entire interview. But he seems like a super cool guy. And if you want to see them, they're going to be in Tijuana on October 7th, one day after Alexa's birthday, Tijuana, Mexico, in Tecate Peninsula at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock. If you live in Tijuana and you see this video, go see him. I always encourage people to go see bands live. Okay, now Veruca Salt. I've never heard of them. This is Seether. American Thighs. I've never heard of that band at all, or like literally ever. So let's see. Maybe I've heard the song. Let's go. Cool. I like it. Like the 4-chord formula has always worked great. 3 chords for AC/DC. It works. I love the sound. I love the drumming, the distortion, the singing. It reminds me a little bit of Smashing Pumpkins. I did have a album called oh, what was it? Smashing Pumpkins. Let's see. And I think as a bonus track, that would be cool to add some Smashing Pumpkins. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Two girls on the cover. Siamese Dream. That's the one. It reminds me a little bit of that. I don't know. It could be wrong, but I like it. It's really cool.
Boiling water, keep her down. What a lovely daughter. Oh, she is not born like other girls, but I know how to conceive her. Oh, she may not look like other girls, but she's a snarl to Seether, Seether. Can't fight the Seether. Can't fight the Seether. Can't fight the Seether. I can't see her till I'm foaming at the mouth. Can't fight the Seether. Can't fight the Seether. Can't fight the Seether. I can't see her till I'm foaming at the mouth. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I had to look up the word. I've never heard of Seether. But then again, I'm not, my English is not my first language. So it's a noun, a person who's agitated, in an agitated state, especially one who's internally agitated. Example, she isn't one to blow up with a temper. She's more of a seether, keeping her negative emotions pent up, obsolete. I didn't know that, like, oh man, I got some seether, like build up in there. I didn't know. So now I know. Very interesting. But I did enjoy the song. It wasn't as, I don't know, complex as Plush, but it was entertaining, And but yeah. Grunge was never about being complex. It was actually the complete opposite. I remember, like also people were just like dressing as normal people, not in leather, and like it was everything would go, short hair, just shorts, whatever. I like that, it was just like I guess it made being a musician as just like a normal thing. You didn't have to wear like spandex and have your hair like this. And, just especially after the 80s, it was just like, hey, we're just guys making music out of our garage and we're not technical, we don't play solos. And I totally get the movement, I do like it. And I appreciate for what it was, it was just people trying to play something different, and I really like that. Okay, Alice in Chains. Wow, they're even bigger than Stone Temple Pilots, because Stone Temple Pilots had about 4 million monthly listeners. They have 8 million monthly listeners. This is Wood, and from, again, 92, like I said. Let's see. Okay, let's go. fuck, man, this is so good. It's so dark. It's so, oof. I love this guy's voice. I've always have. Like I don't think we played this one. I would remembered, but I've definitely heard this before. This is some. I love how dark it is. You know, I love the, and then the riff. This is very, very cool. It has some, like, I don't know, like, I don't know what scale they're using, but it's really good. It's really effective. And that singing, I think he died very young into the career of this band, unfortunately. I do know that, and what a shame, because this guy, oof, different level, you know, of vocals. Very, very effective. Just effective. Very good. Wow. That song is so good. I mean, just the bass, like dum, 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 dum. And then just the, I think the voice is such a driving force in this song. Even if you would sing this song without the music, it would still sound badass. This guy, and obviously he hits some notes there, you know, that sound very like Pearl Jam, like, you know, that Chris Cornell voice, you know, but still being very original. He's not overdoing it with the, you know. Wow. And I love the solo section, even though it was just a little bit of vibrato, you know, on the higher notes, but it's just very effective. They don't even have to play any melody. It just sounded very good, and almost too short. I wish there was a longer version of this song, but, you know, great song. Now Pearl Jam, which I consider, you know, the for me, I guess this is my favorite grunge band that I know. You know, for a lot of people, it's Nirvana, of course, or Soundgarden and stuff like that. I think Pearl Jam, for me, are my favorites, because also Eddie Vedder as a, you know, solo artist is amazing. There's this movie that Alex and I watch very often, Into the Wild. It's beautiful. It has this soundtrack with Eddie Vedder on the acoustic guitar, and it's just mesmerizing. It's beautiful. The guy is like, if there's like, you know, a guy from the 90s that is the American like voice. It's Eddie Vedder, you know. Like honestly, like this guy is on a just a different level. So I've never heard Do the Evolution. I'm familiar, of course, with 10, you know, and like Jeremy and Alive, and you know, I think what was it called? I don't know, but it's Black. But it's just like the guy is just fantastic. Like, especially also like his solo stuff is just mesmerizing. I think we should react to his solo stuff, because even you guys did like 60s and 70s, you know, just very lyrically heavy, and like, you know, stuff like James Taylor and stuff like that. You will love Eddie Vedder. He's just on an amazing level. But here we go. Pearl Jam, Do the Evolution. Let's go.
I'm ahead, I'm the man, I'm the first mammal to wear pants, yeah. I'm at peace with my lust, I can kill 'cause ain't got a choice, yeah. It's evolution, baby. I'm the beast, I'm the man, how it stocks on the day of the crash, yeah. On the loose, I'm a chud. All a rolling hill, I flatten them out, yeah. It's herd behavior. It's evolution, baby. Yeah. I'm a thief, I'm a liar. There's my church, I sing in the choir. Admire me, admire my home, admire my son, admire my cones. 'Cause in our appetite for nightly feast, those ignorant Indians got nothing on me. Nothing. Why? Because it's evolution, baby. I am ahead, I am advanced. I'm the first mammal to make plans out. I crawled the earth, but now I'm high. 2010, want to go to fire. It's evolution, baby. It's evolution, baby. I know the evolution. Come on. Come on,
Wow. So different from the Pearl Jam that I know. There was a lot of, I guess, you know, you couldn't really appreciate Eddie Vedder's voice, and this one, I mean, yes, you can, but it was, distorted. There was distortion on there on purpose, of course. But just, listen to Eddie Vedder. I'll just have to make a reaction video with Alexia or something that we already listened to. It's just, but yeah, this one was more heavier, more punk rock, I guess, but it's the fifth album. I love the cover with a yield sign, that's basically what it's called, the album Yield. And then they did another album just this year that says Give Way. Awesome. I think the last time I listened to a song by Pearl Jam, was one reaction that we did here. I think was, I don't know what we did, but something from the 10 album, but I remember Backspacer when that came out. This was a little bit before I met Alexia, and this was a very, I think I'm gonna, it's just this song that literally sounds like Jimi Hendrix, but I don't know, I think it was from Backspacer. Oh, and I love that they did an album just called Pearl Jam. Yeah, let me see. Something Yellow Letter, something like that it's called. So let's see. Give me 1 second. And then... No, it's not on there. Maybe later, 2013? No. No, I don't know, man. Maybe this one? Now I'm going through all the records. Let's see. No. Oh man, I'm just lost. It's okay. All right, so now we're gonna switch to video. Now I do have to put it on the screen first, and then I don't know, because I was thinking we could do, because it says here fans also like Chris Cornell, Temple of the Dog, which I know, which is Chris Cornell and Eddie Vedder together, but I would rather do that with Alexia. Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots. Let's see what else is here that we could do. Faith No More. Faith No More is more 80s, I think. Blind Melon, Jane's Addiction, Rage Against the Machine, Foo Fighters, Silverchair, Velvet Revolver, Incubus. Wow. Yeah, I've obviously heard of all of these bands, but I was never into them. Audioslave, I think that's the only band that I did play a bunch of songs. Yeah, like a Stone, Show Me How to Live, Cochise or Cochise. I think it's Cochise. Cochise, I don't know. But yeah, definitely love that band, because I was a Rage Against the Machine fan, and so them teaming up with Chris Cornell was just amazing. Okay, let's get into Nirvana, and then we'll figure out what we'll do as a bonus. All right, here we go with Nirvana, About a Girl, MTV Unplugged. And I guess like everyone else in the world, I had this album. It was just, one of those albums that you just bought, because MTV was a big deal, and then to do an unplugged, and yeah, I'm 100% sure I've heard this before. I don't know if I've seen this performance. I might have. But let's give it up for Kurt Cobain and his band, and yeah, forever remembered this guy.
I do.
This is amazing to watch because it's literally like I watch this and I perceive it literally like classic rock. This is like so historically um like important, you know. And even though it's like if you analyze the music, it's not very difficult, but it's just the intention and the lyrics and his style of singing is so good, you know. It's such a great song and what an important band. And I think what happened, never really looked into it too much. Nirvana, I'm sorry, but I think what happened is they just grew so fast, and I think that he couldn't like catch a break, you know, because I've seen some interviews and he just didn't like the whole BS, you know, the music business. I think they started to do this because out of passion, and then it just was about money, and I think he never was about that, you know. He was just a true like musician poet, you know. And I think that's why I don't know really what happened. There must be books and documentaries, and you know, his wife is involved in that too. She knows more, and you know, just like Nirvana fans, of course. It's so crazy. My sister's name is Nirvana, you know, Alexia's baby sister's name is Nirvana, but not because of the band, because of, you know, the actual meeting. But she always wears Nirvana shirts because it's her name. And yeah. And I've asked her, do you like the band too? You know, and she's like, yes, of course I like the band. But she's, you know, totally different generation. Like, but yeah, this is just like when I see it now, and then I see like Dave, I think his name is Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters. He made a whole career after this, super successful. And when he's so young, it's like watching a video of the Beatles, you know, when they were like in their 20s. It's crazy. And I mean, this band has impacted billions of people, you know. It's crazy. Really cool. Very, very cool. I love it. Wow. Yeah, very, very epic. That's, and there you go. Yeah, I mean, I've read some stuff about Kurt Cobain and that he was just in a lot of pain always. You know, he had like this ulcer or something in his stomach, so he was constantly in pain, and just, you know, that sucks too, you know. Just being, I don't know, and I don't know, you know, it's just a shame. But it's like with all these people, you know, that famous like 27 Club, unfortunately, you know, all these guys were so ahead of their time, you know, like Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, and then Kurt Cobain. It's insane. Like, why Amy Winehouse, like it's like these like super talents, and you know, and I'm not saying that he's like a virtuoso on the guitar, but hey, he didn't need to, you know. He had his voice and he had his way of writing, and that was enough to be literally, I think, what is the most successful grunge band in the world, you know. So yeah, awesome. Okay, let's keep it moving. Let me see. I'm gonna cut the video real quick, and I'm gonna think about what to do after this. All right. So I thought, let's just finish the marathon with Soundgarden, because I think Super Unknown is just another legendary album. And I think let's do Black Hole Sun, because Chris Cornell also deserves his, spotlight in the marathon. Another amazing musician we lost way too soon, So I think that would be just a perfect way to finish, the marathon, my first grunge marathon. Maybe, I hope it's not the last, I hope there's more to come. But here we go with Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun, 1994. Let's go. I haven't heard this in years.
In my eyes, indisposed, in disguises no one knows. Hides the face, lies the snake in the sun. In my disgrace, boiling heat, summer stench. Neath the black, the sky looks dead. Call my name through the cream, and I'll hear you scream again.
Wow, though that chord progression is amazing. Dum da da bam, boom 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 bam, dum 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 bum bam, boom boom bum bum. The picking is very difficult. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's like a keyboard. I think that's a guitar. But if it's a keyboard, please correct me. But again, the voice is so amazing. I remember the first time I saw Casino Royale, and it opened with Chris Cornell singing a James Bond song. I was just blown. I was like, I need this song right now. So good, man. But I mean, just listen. I'm just going to go back. Just listen to the chord progression here of this intro.
Dead. Call my name through the cream, and I'll hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain. Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come? Stuttering, cold and damp, steal the warm wind, tired friend. Times are gone for honest men, and sometimes far too long for snakes. In my shoes, walking sleep, in my
Wow, man. That was just amazing. I mean, that song, all the detail, it even had a solo, that it sounded like, that sludgy 70s, sound really cool. Like I think now when we look back, to the 90s and grunge, like it is like listening to classic rock now, literally. Even the time, the difference. I mean, I guess people in the 90s listening to Led Zeppelin, they were like, okay, this is classic rock. But now, I mean, now this is classic rock as well. It's just like it's unfortunately there's no bands. There are no bands that play like this, anymore. It's just like rock is just either it's very underground. It's either still the original bands. Metallica is still doing their thing. Iron Maiden are still doing their thing. There's a lot of grunge bands, still doing their thing. Look at Pearl Jam, but just new bands that come out. It's either very obscure or it doesn't get the attention it deserves. It's very, very crazy, and especially in this, digital age where everything's so easy. I guess there's so much that gets overlooked because maybe there's too many like artists that should be noted but unnoticed, but they go without. And it's also that music nowadays just doesn't generate the same revenue, so there's people are just not pursuing it, the same way. Like you can't become a rock star anymore. It's like impossible. And if you become a rock star, then God help you, like you have to eat, and it's like I've seen people that I follow, like Steve Vai. He's like, like it's hard to break even to go on tour, like it's like doesn't even people like Kansas, it's like it doesn't it gain, there's no gain in making a record. You don't make any money, it's just awful. And then there's this other generation that make music and it's all like literally like crap. It's not good music. I guess it's music, but it's not good, and they make millions, I mean, there are some people that I do respect in the music business that are new. They make really good original stuff, but, on one hand, but all the rest is just garbage, literally. It's very sad, but well, this was a great marathon. I hope we can do more, grunge and stuff like that. And if you're new to the channel, if you like the video, please do subscribe, leave a comment, a like, a dislike, whatever makes you happy, but yeah, we try, to do our best here, Alexia and I, when she can, she's always here. She's always interested. and she's gonna love this marathon. She's gonna love these songs. And but yeah, thanks again, JK, for this awesome opportunity, you know, to do some newer music, because usually we focus more 60s, 70s, 80s. But this was great. Thank you so much, guys. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the next video.